Hello, riders! Warm welcome back to Horse Talk. Yes, because we had a couple of sound issues on the latest live, so here I am again to talk about three different ways we can train liberty with our horse. Because I have noticed that it seems or it feels like many horses they feel that like they don't have a choice. And also many riders they feel like they need to win battles with their horse. And for me this tension or what's it called this way of riding by controlling horses, it doesn't feel right like in the long term. It's not as fun, and there's always this occasional horse who doesn't really submit to it, which is what exactly happened to me. One of my mares, the worse she got, the more I controlled her, which again made her even worse. So it wasn't until I discovered how it's possible to give choices that I was able to train her and actually retrain my own training from what I had done before I learned it. Yeah, if it makes sense. And that is actually one of the ways of doing liberty is to provide your horse with a choice in a strategic way so that your horse says yes to the choice you have given your horse, which is very much more motivating for a horse and to do something they want to do. Yeah, anyhow, I think going live for the second time was not a good idea, so I might try to explain this again tomorrow. Yeah, so basically, there are three different ways of doing liberty with horses. One of them is giving choices, which I am going to talk more about during our live masterclass. And the other way of doing liberty with horses is obviously it's based on controlling the horse and actually more sort of like obedience based liberty, because if you are very clever at riding, you are obviously able to control your horse with the small signals. And then you don't need to rely on the reins anymore because you have your horse under such control that you can manage to do it without the reins. And this requires a whole lot of training. Like the horse needs to be very well trained, and the rider needs to be very clever for this to be possible. And I think many people, since we have a tradition in learning riding from controlling horses, we then apply this tradition into the liberty. And that's when liberty becomes difficult. But when we give our horses choices, liberty becomes easy. So I wasn't necessarily planning on riding at liberty. That's something that happened because I gave my horses choices, and they then wanted to be where they are and not everywhere else, and wanted to do the same as I wanted to do because they chose it, not because they had to or because I was giving them treats. It was a choice. And then it's easy to just take the reins off and ride without them. But I think if we go the more like control based obedience route, then we need to practice a whole lot before we are able to ride our horses at liberty. And then liberty becomes something that people might think is difficult. Well, it's actually not. And I also think that we can actually ride liberty with the tack, and we can ride control based at liberty. So it's not so much about the tack or not having the tack or the reins or not having the reins. It's more about what mindset and what philosophy are we training our horse from. Yes, so let me know in the comments below if this makes sense. Yes, and obviously, so there are three ways. It's the control way, and you have the choice way, and then you, of course, have the positive reinforcement way, which also is very popular. And not something I'm going to sit here and go like, oh, it's bad to give treats or use treats or blah, blah, blah. It's awesome. You know, horses become very motivated from getting treats and getting rewards. It's a great way of, getting the horse to do what we want them to do. But what I found is that when horses learn something from a choice and from their own experience, they learn it in a completely different way than when they are reinforced by rewards to do something. So, obviously, treats are fun and is motivating, but I think it's not the same as doing something by choice. Like if I ask my kids to do the dishes and they chose to do it because they want to participate, or because they also know that if they don't do the dishes, it's gonna pile up in the kitchen, and they do it from that point of view, it's different than if they do the dishes to get a reward for doing it. Like, we can actually do the dishes and enjoy doing them by choice, not to just get the reward, in a way. But I'm not saying that treats has that effect on horses. I think they are awesome in many ways and help solve a lot of problems. But I feel that actually giving the horse a choice is easier. And if you want to learn how to do that, then make sure to join Succeed with Liberty live masterclass next Wednesday, actually, where you are going to learn how you can get started with your horse and giving your horse choices so that you can make your ID your horse's ID, which makes liberty easy. And you can also do it with the tack. You don't have to take off all the tack to give the horse a choice. It's all depending on how we use the tack. Yes, so if you want to join Succeed with Liberty live masterclass, then comment below or click the link below. I'm going to try to share the link here somewhere so that I can see you there and we can talk about it more. And thank you so much for joining this evening. And sorry if it was a bit messy. But there's another live recording here somewhere, and the sound is awful, but then it might make more sense. But you are going to get everything you need to learn more about this on the next Wednesday. And so thrilled to have you here tonight and looking very much forward to seeing you there. Okay, bye for now.